Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the world of naval power, strategy, and technology, and we've got a matchup that might surprise you. It's not just about two warships, it's about two completely different approaches to defending the seas. On one side, we have the Hai Lung, a stealthy underwater hunter from Taiwan, a submarine designed to slip through the ocean unnoticed and strike with precision. And on the other side, we have the BRP Antonio Luna, a proud surface warrior of the Philippine Navy, a guided missile frigate standing tall above the waves, bristling with sensors, radars, and weapons meant to control the sea and protect its nation. This is not your usual surface ship versus surface ship comparison. This is a clash of philosophies. The unseen power of a submarine against the visible but equally dangerous might of a surface combatant. It's like comparing a shadow in the deep with a shield on the surface. The question is, what happens when these two worlds collide? Could a lone submarine sneak up and cripple a frigate? Or could a modern warship like the BRP Antonio Luna detect, outmaneuver, and neutralize a hidden predator before it strikes? Stick around, because in this video, we're going to break it all down. We'll look at the story behind Taiwan's Hai Lung submarine, explore what makes the BRP Antonio Luna a symbol of the Philippines' growing naval strength, and then pit them against each other in a head-to-head comparison that'll show you how submarines and frigates are shaping the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific. So grab a seat, get ready for some naval warfare insight, and let's set sail into this fascinating matchup, Hai Lung versus BRP Antonio Luna. Now let's shift from the silent world beneath the waves to a warship that proudly sails above them, the BRP Antonio Luna, one of the most advanced vessels in the Philippine Navy. If the Hai Lung is the lurking predator in the deep, Antonio Luna is the vigilant guardian patrolling the surface, ready to shield its nation and project strength across the seas. Commissioned in 2021, the BRP Antonio Luna is a Jose Rizal-class guided missile frigate, built in South Korea and designed specifically to give the Philippines a modern edge in maritime defense. For decades, the Philippine Navy relied on aging ships handed down from allies, often vessels that were well past their prime. But Antonio Luna marked a turning point. It was a leap into modern naval warfare, equipped with radars, missiles, and systems that made it not just a ship but a command center on the water. This warship displaces around 2,600 tons, making it comparable in size to Taiwan's Hai Lung submarine, but its role is completely different. Where a submarine hides, a frigate like Antonio Luna stands tall, broadcasting presence and projecting power. Named after General Antonio Luna, one of the fiercest Filipino patriots and military minds during the revolution against Spanish colonial rule, the ship carries a name that symbolizes courage, defiance, and leadership. The BRP Antonio Luna is armed with a variety of weapons. Its Otto Malara 76mm super rapid gun gives it punch against surface and air targets. Its missile systems provide the ability to strike beyond the horizon, while torpedo launchers give it anti-submarine capability. Yes, even a way to fight back against threats like the Hai Lung. Add to that advanced radar and combat systems that allow it to detect, track, and engage multiple threats at once, and you get a versatile ship that can operate in air defense, surface warfare, and anti-submarine roles. But perhaps what makes the BRP Antonio Luna most important isn't just its weapons, it's what it represents. For the Philippines, surrounded by contested waters in the South China Sea, having a modern warship like this is about sovereignty. It sends a message. The Philippines is upgrading, modernizing, and determined to protect its maritime territory. Every patrol Antonio Luna conducts isn't just routine. It's a statement. Of course, no warship is invincible. As advanced as Antonio Luna is, it's still vulnerable to threats that lurk unseen. Submarines, missiles, and air power are all dangers that a frigate has to prepare for. But that's exactly why frigates like this exist. They're the workhorses of modern navies, flexible and capable of handling many different missions at once. Sailing sleek and modern, the BRP Antonio Luna isn't just a ship. It's a symbol of the Philippines stepping into the 21st century of naval warfare, standing guard over its waters with pride and determination. Now let's talk about the Hai Lung, Taiwan's silent hunter beneath the waves. Imagine a steel giant lurking under the ocean, invisible to the naked eye, waiting for the right moment to strike. That's the philosophy behind the Hai Lung class submarine. Built in the Netherlands in the 1980s and delivered to Taiwan at a time when the island's naval defense needed a major boost, these subs became the backbone of Taiwan's undersea warfare. The name Hai Lung, which translates to sea dragon, is fitting, because in naval warfare a submarine is a dragon that hides in the depths, striking fear into anyone who dares to sail nearby. The Hai Lung and her sister submarine, the Hai Hu, are diesel-electric submarines. That means they're not nuclear-powered like the big US or Russian boats, but they are still extremely quiet, which is one of the deadliest advantages a submarine can have. In the cat-and-mouse game of the seas, silence is everything. The Hai Lung displaces around 2,600 tons when submerged and carries a crew of about 70 sailors. Inside, it's a tight, cramped space. No luxury, no comfort, just pure functionality. Every sailor on board knows that their job is to keep the sub hidden and ready to fight. What makes the Hai Lung so dangerous isn't size or flashy weapons, but its ability to remain unseen. Equipped with advanced sonar systems and armed with torpedoes, it's built to stalk surface ships like frigates, destroyers, or even larger targets. For Taiwan, the Hai Lung represents a vital asymmetric weapon. Taiwan can't match China's Navy ship for ship. It simply doesn't have the numbers. But a submarine changes the equation. A single well-placed torpedo from a Hai Lung could cripple a warship many times its cost. Think about it. A submarine worth a few $100 million could sink a destroyer or even an aircraft carrier worth billions. That's the kind of deterrence Taiwan needs. However, the Hai Lung isn't perfect. It's an aging platform, more than 3 decades old. And technology has advanced rapidly since it first entered service. Taiwan has been working on upgrading its systems, improving sonar, combat systems, and weapons to keep it relevant. Still, in the modern battlefield filled with advanced anti-submarine warfare tools, the Hai Lung faces challenges. But one thing hasn't changed: the fear submarines instill. No captain of a surface ship ever feels completely safe knowing there's a sub possibly lurking below. The Hai Lung isn't about showing off. It's about lurking in silence, holding the power to change the outcome of a battle with just one shot. It's Taiwan's reminder to the world that sometimes the most powerful weapons aren't the ones you can see, but the ones hidden in the depths of the sea. So now we come to the big question. What happens when a silent hunter like the Hai Lung meets a surface guardian like the BRP Antonio Luna? This is where things get really interesting, because we're not just talking about ships with different weapons. We're talking about 2 entirely different strategies of war colliding. The Hai Lung operates with invisibility as its greatest weapon. It's slow compared to a surface ship, but it doesn't need speed. It needs stealth. The submarine's goal would be simple: sneak close enough without being detected, launch its torpedoes, and disappear back into the ocean before anyone even realizes what happened. Against a warship like Antonio Luna, one well-aimed torpedo could spell disaster. History has shown us time and again, submarines can sink ships much larger and more powerful than themselves if they get the jump. On the other hand, the BRP Antonio Luna is built to defend itself against threats exactly like this. With sonar systems to track undersea contacts, helicopters equipped with dipping sonars and torpedoes, and its own onboard anti-submarine weapons, Antonio Luna has tools to fight back. Unlike in the early 20th century, where ships were sitting ducks, modern frigates are designed with submarines in mind. The battle between the two would come down to detection. Who sees who first? If Antonio Luna spots the Hai Lung early enough, it can launch its helicopters, drop sonar buoys, and attack with torpedoes. But if Hai Lung stays hidden, then Antonio Luna is in danger. It's also about doctrine. Taiwan's submarine force exists to be a deterrent, to make any navy think twice before sailing too close. The Philippines' frigates exist to be visible, to show presence and control maritime territory. One hides in the shadows, the other commands the open sea. They're not even meant to fight in the same way, but if they did cross paths, it would be a deadly chess match. So who has the edge? Well, in one-on-one terms, a submarine always poses a lethal threat to a frigate. Silence versus detection. It's the eternal struggle. But in the bigger picture, the BRP Antonio Luna plays a broader role. It's not just about fighting submarines. It's about projecting power, defending airspace, and standing guard for the Philippines. Meanwhile, Hai Lung is a specialist. It's not built for many missions, it's built for one, to stalk and kill ships. If you drop these two into a fight, the outcome would depend on environment and luck. In deep water with lots of places to hide, Hai Lung would likely dominate. In shallower seas or with strong anti-submarine patrols from Antonio Luna's helicopters, the frigate might catch the sub before it can strike. It's a deadly cat and mouse, game with no guaranteed winner. In the end, the Hai Lung versus BRP Antonio Luna comparison isn't just about who wins in battle. It's about what they represent. Hai Lung is Taiwan's silent card, a reminder that even a smaller navy can hold its ground with the right tools. BRP Antonio Luna is the Philippines' shield, showing the world that it's ready to stand tall and protect its seas. One lives in the shadows, the other in the spotlight, and together they highlight how different nations shape their navies to meet their unique challenges. So whether it's the whisper of a submarine beneath the waves or the proud silhouette of a frigate on the horizon, both of these ships prove one thing. In the Indo-Pacific, naval power is about more than steel and missiles. It's about strategy, presence, and the will to defend.